brought them here. We appreciated the media and everyone else who supported us when we arrived in South Africa to welcome us. We expected hostility. Everything else was welcoming, and we had a very comfortable stay here. We managed to keep everyone else, even though it was difficult at times, because some of them are children. Children, they tend to misbehave, but then we try and keep them from a distance from each other. That we must maintain social distance. Our teams from the healthcare practitioners, they managed to keep everybody sanitized. We had enough stock from the Department of Health as well as SEMS, so we never ran short of anything. That is why our mission today, we can say, successful. It has been a success, and everyone else can go back home to their families and integrate. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, thanks. You see, Mr. President, when he said everyone here is tested negative, I've noted that most of our cases that are testing positive in the province actually are people from other provinces. When they land from Europe, they are choosing Limpopo, to come and self-quarantine. In the process of quarantining themselves, they test positive because they know Limpopo. Maybe you might test negative. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way with them. But there are those who are testing. We have a number of those that are testing negative, who are self-quarantining themselves in the game and lodges of Honorable MEC Tawumuko. They know Limpopo is a welcoming and a loving province. Captain Busi Kumalo, our hero.
The doctor introduced me. I'm Captain Busi Kumalo. I was leading the South African Airways crew to go to Wuhan to go fetch our compatriots. When we had your call, we didn't even hesitate to say we will do it because it was a national crisis. And we were actually, in the beginning, we were worried of the delay. We say, we must go fetch our South Africans. And I must say, like I said early in the morning, we have made new friends. We all worked as a team together. Everybody, everybody is important in this mission. Everybody did their best. We appreciate the task that we have, the mammoth task. We all the ministers trying to stop this pandemic. It was our pleasure to be one little part of the contribution to your efforts to save our nation from this pandemic. And Premier, I'm moving to Limpopo. Thanks for welcoming us.
The executive is here to make sure you get a stand. That's how Limpopo is. We told you on Saturday when we welcome you, that is in our tradition in our province. When you come, we slaughter a chicken. We give you with its intestines, it's the feet and the head. We don't give you pieces here. We allow you to eat and finish it. So that's why you can hear Captain Kumal is going to be one of our citizens. Dr. Bam, who was leading the team of NDOH, the team of health professionals who make sure they go and also screen our repatriates and take care of them even here on a day-to-day basis.
Honorable President, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Premier MEC, we'd like to say we brought all our citizens, brothers, sisters, children, and we really thank you for all the support. And I know as a country together we're going to fight. The way to go out as well and voice opinion that we can beat this and we can learn a lot from them as well. We really interacted with them a lot, and for myself as well as the team, we learned a lot from our citizens as well, of resilience, how to stand together, and it's been an honor to serve. And I think each and every one of us together, it's been an honor to really serve. And like I say, we are ready to go to the next mission.
CIA crew. Can we have Elias Mazibili?
Mr. President, my name is El. I'm the senior pastor, Southern Airways Minister, ministers, and the Premier, and protocol observed. I'm standing here to thank our country. I'm standing here to stand and say we volunteered ourselves to go into this mission that you have sent us. We came and when we met with the minister, we said nobody forced us from South African Airways, nobody, our families, and no one. But we came here to go and represent you. We knew that you wanted us to go and really go and stand for you and really go and fetch your own people. And we did exactly that. I worked with the military people, which they were wonderful. It's not easy to command people, but I've got 3 stars, as you all can see. I tried and pushed myself and worked with them, and with our engineers, our technical team, our security guys, the captains of the flight. I stood there and I said to all of them, we are going to do this. We did the dry runs in the aeroplane to make sure it's not easy, but you command and you make sure that everything is done before we get to on the other side. This song is the song that has been going around on the social media. It's the song that we sang as we descend into, Wuhan. Hearts were troubled. We thought, you know what, some of us maybe thought that really we are here now. Are we going to fetch these people? What is going to happen? But the training and the preparations that we had, we were so ready for anything. We had green zone, red zones, and yellow zones, and we had a coordinator that had to coordinate everybody that was in the aeroplane. And we did that, Mr. President. And we, as my colleague was saying here, Dr. Bam was saying that we are ready, for the next mission. We are. Thank you.
I think we nearly make a mistake. There's somebody from the embassy, and I can see the minister. She's looking at me and saying, look at me. Look at me now. I don't want to fight with my mother. Can we request just a word or two? Let's give him a round of applause. Just speak next to the mic.
Thank you, President. I think this occasion is more overwhelming than the task that we undertook to evacuate people from Wuhan. I mean, speaking in front of you.
The cameras.
As I said, it's a daunting task. We almost also missed an opportunity to represent the people that we work with at the South African Embassy in Beijing. A lot of work was undertaken before the departure of the teams from South Africa. There's a lot of colleagues in the South African Embassy in Beijing who did a super task work to make sure that all the evacuees are gathered together, that no one was left behind. We were given a small task of making sure that at the airport, everyone is accounted for. Everybody has got source documents to make sure that when the plane is ready to be boarded, was boarded. We want to take this opportunity to thank the President, Minister of Home Affairs, Minister of Foreign Affairs, for entrusting us with this responsibility. I think we did well as a team. There is a team from SAA, soldiers, and everyone. We must say, President, we have learned a lot. It was not an easy task, but at the end, as we found each other, it became much more easier and natural. Thank you once more.
Thank you very much. I think now is that moment where it's not every day that you are all invited by the Commander-in-Chief himself. It is it's not every day. So we are really humbled by this honor, especially the Premier. We will be remembered not for bringing Corona, but for taking care of South African citizens when the country needed us. So I'm going to request...
your passport, man? No passport for you.
Yes, we will address that issue of Home Affairs. Honestly, I'm a bit worried there. We are going to request the Minister of Health to present to us the Commander-in-Chief. Because you can see it's one man who has never slept. You can think some of us, a minister, you come here, you can think some of us are busy, I can tell you. At least I had to deal with Corona in Limpopo. Imagine all those numbers there. He must find those numbers and make sure he keeps the contact of all those numbers. We are crying by 11. He's talking about over 1,187. So let's give him a round of applause.
Mr. President, my colleagues, the Minister, and fellow South Africans, it's a very emotional and very overwhelming moment. We want to say to you, you made us proud. But today, we are here to report to the Commander-in-Chief that he assigned us as the team of ministers to work together with all of you to make sure that we bring back to South Africa those South Africans who were in the epicenter of the coronavirus in Hebei province, Wuhan city in China. You were willing to come forth as volunteers who responded to the call by saying Chuma Mina. This today is a moment of which we are very proud to report. Mr. President, you instructed us to undertake a mission. Today we want to say this mission has been successfully accomplished. On behalf of the ministers, the provincial government, the Defense Force, the crews, and all the volunteers and South Africans who are part of this, would like to invite you now to address the people who all made it to happen. To your colleagues, this is the Commander-in-Chief. He is the leader who is leading us from the front, and with him standing up and talking to us, he's actually helping the whole country to be united, to work together, to be calm as we're dealing with a very fierce opponent. We're not the only ones, but the whole world. And therefore we rely on his leadership, and therefore I'd like you to join me in welcoming President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa to come forth and give us a word of encouragement. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you. Let's be seated, please. Let me start off by extending my greetings to the ministers who are here, and the Premier, the MECs, the officers of our National Defense Force, and indeed everyone else who is here. If there ever was a true representation of Chuma Mina, you are all the representation of Chuma Mina. For the longest time, we've been talking about Chuma Mina and repeating the song of Rahim Masekela, but I cannot think of a single moment when it is really truly represented in practical effect than this moment and what you did. And I'd like to thank you on behalf of all South Africans for being too mad, for being sent, for agreeing to be sent. And what even makes it more important is you all said, send me, President. And so I thank you because you volunteered. You were not commandeered. You were not drawn and dragged out of wherever you were. You just stepped forward and said, we are the ones who want to be sent. And where were you being sent? You were being sent on a dangerous mission. I characterize the mission that you undertook as a most dangerous mission. You were going into unknown territory, a territory where we knew we had people who had contracted coronavirus, but you were also being sent to the epicenter, to the real say, I am willing to go into danger zone. I can understand with soldiers. With soldiers, they are sent to all manner of dangerous mission zones, and they have to go. That's the oath that. But yourselves, as the pilots of our SAA flight, as the cabin crew of our SAA flight, as officials in our embassy, home affairs, and also health department, you deliberately said, we are going into this dangerous zone, and we would like to thank you. But you also served this mission, you executed rather this mission with great distinction. Absolute distinction, with precision, and with great excellence. And give yourself a round of applause for that. Because that's a good work you did. You made no mistakes. Yes, you went through your drills. You went through your drills either on the plane or whatever, and looked at every option, and I think you did extremely well. You acted according to the drills that you executed, and we would like to thank you. We want to thank you because you are part of the cohort of volunteers that have stepped forward in our country, and you are, as the Premier said, going to be those people whose names are going to be clearly written in the history of our country, because this is unprecedented. Our country and nation has never been through a process like this. So in many ways, you are making history. You have made history. And even as you say you are ready for the next mission, I already have a mission for you. I already have the next mission for you. So we'd really like to thank you. We also thank you for agreeing to be quarantined. Not everyone would readily just agree that, yes, I want to be locked up and quarantined for 14 days. But you agreed that you would be quarantined. We initially said 21 days, but we were taking precautions because the mandatory period is 14 days. We are also grateful that you agreed to be tested, to be put under observation over the 14 days, and we are happy that you have all been cleared of coronavirus. There's no coronavirus amongst you. So that is why I was also tested. I don't have coronavirus, so I'm happy to stand before you. But at the same time, we must also recognize the fact that we are in the middle of a huge crisis in our country. Coronavirus is just spreading throughout our nation. And each one of us has to take care, extra care, and having being tested and found negative. We must therefore take extra precautions to be safe, to ensure that we still have that distance between us and the next person, and to continue washing our hands and to make sure that we do not contract this coronavirus. Now you are at a stage where we are going to release you to go home, to go to your loved ones, people that you have missed for this full 14 days. And we would like to extend our gratitude. I'd like you to tell your families that we are grateful to them as well, because they are the ones, your loved ones are the ones who allowed you in the end, wittingly or unwittingly, to undertake this mission. Each one of you would have discussed it with your loved one. You would have said, sweetie, lovey, the president wants me to do this, do you mind? So in the end, your loved one would have said, yes, go. So I thank them. Maybe I thank them even more than I thank you. Because they are the ones who encouraged you, who enabled you to be here. So we extend our true gratitude to your families, to your children, to your loved ones, wife, girlfriend, or partner, for having allowed you to come onto this mission. You are our true heroes. You are our true heroes because you agreed to go on a most dangerous mission. As your plane landed, captains, as your plane landed in China, in Wuhan, you were flying the South African flag, but you were also demonstrating the compassion that we have as a nation towards our fellow citizens. You were showing that South Africa as a nation and the government of our country cares, and that is why we brought our children and their families home. And now we are ready to take them back to their families, to rejoin their families. And for this, we truly thank you, and we know that this is a mission that you would once again be willing to execute, but we're not going to send you on another mission quickly. I want you to go and rest and be with your families. But I have your names. I have your numbers. And I will remember when another mission comes up, who to call. And so I'm going to put you on speed dial. So I will be willing to call you at any time. So thank you very much for all the excellent work that you did. You truly make us proud. You are the ones who show that our country is a country that cares, but it is also a country that has people who are disciplined, people who are willing to be sent, people who are willing to be volunteers. So my patriotic volunteers, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you again. Thank you very much.
Tumamina, Ramaphosa, tumamina. Maufuni volunteer, tumamina, Ramaphosa, tumamina. Maufuni volunteer, tumamina.